Namaste Bitya, I am JVN Doctor Suman Shekhawat, Department of Kaya Chikitsa, Jyoti Vidyapit Women's University, Jaipur, Faculty of Ayurvedic Science. Today we will discuss on examination of respiratory system part 2. We are talking about that what kind of complaints we have to what kind of complaints and what kind of sign and symptoms held in respiratory system disease. So we have to see all the symptoms in and sign and symptoms in we have to check all the sign and symptoms in the patient. Next is hemoptysis. Hemoptysis means the coughing up of blood in the sputum. It should never be dismissed without very careful evaluation of the patient. The potentially serious significance of blood in the sputum is well known, and fear often leads patient not to mention it. A specific question is always necessary as well as an attempt to decide it. If it is fresh or altered blood, how much is produced, when it started, and now often it happens. Causes of hemoptysis: malignancy and benign lung tumor, including lung metastasis; pulmonary infections, including bacterial pneumonia, tuberculosis, lung abscess, and fungal infection; bronchiectasis, including cystic fibrosis, pulmonary emboli, congestive heart failure, pulmonary fibrosis, pulmonary vasculitis, severe pulmonary hypertension, AV malformation, chest trauma, and foreign bodies; endometriosis, anticoagulation or coagulopathy, drug example cocaine and thrombolytics. Blood may be coughed up alone, or sputum may be blood stained. It is sometimes difficult for the patient to describe whether or not the blood has originated from the chest or whether it is comes from the gums or nose or even from the stomach. Patient should always be asked about associated conditions such as epistaxis, nose bleeding, or the subsequent development of melena, which occurs in the case of upper gastrointestinal bleeding. Usually, however, it is that the blood originate from the chest, and this is an indication for further investigation. Wheezing: always ask whether the patient hears any noise coming from the chest. Even if a wheeze is not present when you examine the patient, it is useful to know that he is noticed it on occasion. Sometimes wheezing will have been noticed by other, especially by a partner at night when asthma is worse, but not by the patient. Sometimes stridor may be mistaken for wheezing by both patient and doctor. This serious finding usually indicate narrowing of the larynx, trachea, and main bronchi. It is also not unusual for the patient with a pneumothorax to describe rubbing or girding sound in their chest, which may well be due to the displaced lung. Pain in the chest apart from musculoskeletal aches and pains consequent upon prolonged bout of coughing. Coughing, chest pain caused by lung disease usually arise from the pleuritic pain in sharp and stabbing, and is made worse by deep breathing or coughing it worse when the pleura is inflamed, most commonly by infection in the underlying lung, more constant pain unrelated to breathing may be caused by local invasion of the chest wall by a lung or pleural tumor. A spontaneous pneumothorax causes pain which is worse or breathing, but which may have more infraction of the lung pleurisy and hence pleuritic pain may occur, but an acute pulmonary embolus can be cause pain which is not stabbing in nature. A large pulmonary embolus causing hemodynamic disturbance may cause cardiac type chest pain. Other symptoms are quite apart from the common symptom of respiratory disease. There are some other aspects of the history that are particularly relevant to the respiratory system. Upper airways questions related to the ear, nose, and throat are relevant. Rhino, rhinosinusitis often coexist with asthma or less commonly bronchiectasis and can be an aggravating factor. A common cause of chronic cough is postnasal drip secondary to rhinitis. A change in the voice may indicate involvement of the left recurrent laryngeal nerve by a carcinoma of the lung. Sometimes patient using inhaled corticosteroid for asthma developed oropharyngeal candidiasis or even hoarseness or weakness of the voice with improve or changing the treatment. don't don't ascribe hoarseness to this cause of the older patient, as carcinoma of the vocal cord can be present with hoarseness or a change in the quality of the voice. A laryngoscopy is always indicate if hoarseness persists for more than 4 weeks. The smoking and reactional drug history. Always take a full smoking or reactional drug history. Do so in a sympathetic and non judgmental way, or the detail is unlikely to be accurate. The time for advice about smoking cessation is after completion of your assessment, not at the outset. Simply asking, "Do you smoke?" is not enough. No voice will be astonished at how often close probing of the answer no reveals that the patient gave it up yesterday or that he states his intention for doing so. From the time of your consultation, age of starting and stopping, if an ex smoker, and average consumption for both current and ex smoker are the bare minimum information needed. Identification for an individual as a current or ex smoker will greatly influence the interpretation you place on your finding upon history and examination. Almost all cases of lung cancer and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease occurs in those who have smoked. Recreational drug use tends to be commoner in younger people, but do not assume that this is the case and ask all patients for all walks of life. Cannabis can cause severe emphysema in younger patients who are often unaware of effects. Use the consultation is discuss its long-term sequels. Family history. There is Strong inherited susceptibility to asthma associated atopic conditions such as eczema and hay fever may also be present in relatives of those with asthma, particularly in those who develop the condition when young. The occupational history is on other organ is susceptible to the working environment as much as the lung. Several hundred different substances have now been recognized as causing occupational asthma. Paint sprayers, paint sprays, workers in the electronics, rubber or plastic industries, and woodworkers are relatively commonly affected. List of common occupations that may be associated with asthma, like car paint sprayers, like isocyanates, electrician, colophony, and woodworkers, rubber and plastic industries, baker, floor dust and enzyme, example amylase, working with asthma, vets, zookeeper, laboratory worker, rodents, urinary parts, urinary proteins, and working with agriculture, farmer, fish worker, salmon proteins, healthcare professional, latex and diathermy, hairdressing, persulfate, henna, tea shifter, and packers. Damage from inhalation of asbestos may take decades to become manifest more seriously as malignant mesothelioma. In middle-aged individuals who present with a pleural effusion, often the first sign of mesothelioma, always ask about possible asbestos exposure in jobs back to the time of first employment. List of activity that may lead to asbestos exposure: mining and manufacture of asbestos, and shipbuilding and aircraft manufacturing, dock and roll workers, rail workers, and unloading asbestos from ships and trains, thermal and fire insulation lagging, construction, building repair and demolition, construction, building repair and demolition, and plumber and gas fitters, car mechanics, brake lining, and electrician, carpenter, and upholsterers, manufacturers of gas masks in World War II, family member of one of the above, and or working or living near an asbestos source, particularly if asbestos fiber taken home or worker clothing. Thank you. This session is powered by 2.0 digital version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University. I hope you all are satisfied with this session. If you feel any kind of problem with this session, please mention it in comment box. I will resolve it soon. Thank you.